What advice do you have for young people who are feeling lonely?
I'd say take it offline.
Hold on to it. It's going to linger. It's going to create resentment and ultimately make or break a friendship or a relationship.
I was not gonna cry because I'm the strong one. But Ro, what did you text me?
I was thinking about you today.
Yeah, that's what she texted.
All right, welcome everyone. This is really cool because we have 4 generations with us
What? Yeah. Wait, who's the oldest?
to talk about loneliness.
Probably me.
No.
Okay, let's not do age, but let's do generation.
Hi, I'm Simone. I'm a Gen Zer.
I'm Zoe. I'm also a Gen Zer.
I'm Glozell. I think I'm a boomer. Like, what is the curse?
I'm Rosanna, and I'm a millennial.
So I'm Laura from the Jet Foundation. I'm an Xennial, and you might be an Xennial too.
Oh, it's a combo? Like,
Is that the name of it?
There's a name for it, right?
Dual generation?
It's people born in the late 70s, early 80s. Well, we're here to talk about loneliness, and what I love about talking with people from many different generations is we experience these things so differently.
yes.
And so the setup for today is I have a stack of cards, and I'm going to be reading statements. And if you agree with that statement and you feel like it resonates with you, you hit the button, and then whoever hits the button first is going to tell us a little bit about why that resonated for them.
Okay.
Sounds amazing.
Okay.
Good.
All right, should we get started?
Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's see what the first one says. I have a lot of FOMO.
I think you're her.
Is this
Because she's younger and faster.
I think I just get FOMO because you see things a lot more than I would imagine you did before, whether that's stories, videos, reposts, stuff like that. And I like having my time to decompress. Like me a year ago, I'd be like, no, I have to be with someone 24/7. But taking time for yourself is important because if your glass isn't even halfway full, you're running out of water at a certain point, So I definitely have a little bit of FOMO, but over time, you're meant to be in certain places at certain times and you're not meant to be at certain places at certain times.
My FOMO comes from being, there's 20 years of YouTube and I've been on there 20 years. So you feel like you want to just scream like, I want to be a part of everything because I was there from the beginning, but there's so many things that there's people there that don't even know you exist and you want to be a part of every trend and everything to keep updated because, you were there and from the beginning, but, time marches on and just like, oh man. So you do feel there's so many times where they'll do a group of YouTubers and I'm like, oh, I wasn't asked, I wasn't part of it. So I get that a lot for, so long, 2 decades before you was born.
You were feeling FOMO before, yeah.
Yes.
I think there
Gotcha.
is something special of not being at everything.
Also, I really like the term JOMO, the joy of missing out.
Oh, I've never heard
It's
that
kind of
before.
like giving yourself the gift of solitude when you choose. So you have this peace of mind that, oh, I chose myself this time because I have boundaries, I have other priorities. And it also feels just as great. And you're happy for the people who show up at another occasion, but you're also happy to show up for yourself when you need it the most.
You have to be
I love
you got to get to that point.
True.
So that's self-love. That is like, you know what? I'm good. I don't have to be out there. So that's good.
Even though I have all these friends on social media, I still feel alone.
I feel like you want.
Ro is like,
I'll answer first.
We'll work through it with you.
Yes. I've something there, Ro. Some of these people we've known for years.
Yep.
For years. In their homes, eating, celebrating with them different trials and this and weddings and births. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, I didn't know that person.
Yeah, that feels heartbreaking. That you bring that up. I think that's true.
I think it's maybe the difference between social media friends. That's the first part of the question. There's people I follow on social media and I'll see out at events, but then there's the people I'm talking to on the phone every day. I have a favorites list on my phone. I have my pinned text messages. Those are my friends. I'm not saying the people that I see out and about aren't, but it's just a different level. It's more of an acquaintance versus your real friends. So I think it's kind of deciphering the two. And it's I have a lot of people that I know through social media and I see at events and most of the time everyone's great, but
Yeah.
who out of those people are the people going on family vacations and coming to my birthday party? 0.1%. So if you don't have those these are my family basically, I think that can be what's lonely. because there's so many people. It's like, who do I want to be friends with today? Who do I want to go ask out for coffee? Everyone wants to like connect and network and stuff like that, which is great. I think it's a huge part of the industry, but at the same time, like I also like to just feel like I am with my friends, and I'm not from here. It took 7 years to actually have like a group of friends that I think I can actually like share what's going on in my daily life. 7 years.
When you pour so much trust and care into people you thought had your back, and they present to themselves in kind of like a falsified way, or a facade, it's always a little bit heartbreaking. It doesn't happen that often, which is why I didn't press it at first. And also, I don't think that prevents me from pouring trust and faith into new people I meet.
After something like that happens, it takes a lot of like courage and strength to build that back up. But the fact that kind of just give everyone a clean slate, because even though that one person did it, even though it's a little nerve-wracking, like not everyone's the same.
Exactly.
You know? And it's like you're gonna have to get hurt to learn, and also appreciate the people that are real to you, because you're gonna appreciate them no matter what. But then when you see like what other people have done, you just have that extra appreciation for them.
And I find it like so heartwarming to hear that you finally found your group of people after 7 years, because coming to LA can sometimes be really lonely. I feel like I didn't belong to the city or feel connected to the city for the first 5 years I was here.
How long have you lived here?
Almost 8-9 years.
Wow.
But first 5 years, same thing with you. I had acquaintances, friends, but not on a deeper level where I felt supported in that sense.
I also felt really kind of like isolated, almost like LA was very cold for the first like 4 or 5 years, and I contemplated moving back home. So
I'm so glad you stayed. Otherwise, we wouldn't have met.
I know.
You ever really think
Same.
about that? Like, oh, if I never knew this person, I would have never met this person, and then that led me to this. Like, I sometimes go down this rabbit hole, and I may or may not have a corkboard in my house, or sometimes I print out pictures and make red lines. Because sometimes I'm like, how did I meet someone? And then I have to go back to square one. I'm like, I moved here 7 years ago. Met this
board.
So you do like this NCIS kind of
friendship board.
I do. I do. You know, but it's out of the goodness of my heart.
It does sound like
That's so funny.
It is hanging in my room right now.
it's so cute.
Okay, I'm ready.
I sometimes feel lonely even when I'm with other people.
No, for me. I love being with people.
I feel like a lot of times LA or entertainment in general is such a hodgepodge of all types of people, and it's super exciting. The diversity is also really fascinating, but sometimes there's just a misalignment of what everyone values, and that's perfectly fine. So when I don't feel understood, I definitely feel disconnected with the crowd, and that's fine. That's when I learn, oh, this is not my crowd, but that's fine. I learned something new. I embrace the opportunity to learn more insights and newer perspectives.
And sometimes that crowd that is not your crowd ends up being your crowd later.
So true.
You're
so
like,
true.
I didn't know I was okay. Now I'm knitting. I didn't know I was scared about that. You know.
Or maybe connects you to someone. Maybe that's not your person, but you meet someone else through them.
Yes. Sometimes you end up being the friend of the friend, and the friend that introduced you is not the friend anymore, but the other person. Yeah.
Back
Hopefully
to
that
the
makes
red string board. I'm telling you
Yes,
guys, it's life-changing.
I need one.
sense. I'm gonna use green screen.
And so what do you think of this concept of like, you don't have to be alone to be lonely?
Yeah, I feel like people can feel like that. I heard really intelligent people feel like that all the time. So I'm that. So no, so I don't have that problem.
Like, I hear about
I
intelligent
literally,
people.
if I'm hanging out with anyone, I don't feel lonely. I feel so good. You could put me in the room with people that are completely polar opposite of me, and I would feel great. I just like being around people. I just don't do good alone. Alone, never.
I think, Ro, you're really good at just coming across without a shield, and you're just so open-hearted to everyone. That's why you feel connected. The times I don't feel connected are when people have their wall up, and so I don't get to know the real them. And it's always like a game of trust and like having a leap of faith.
Sometimes it just takes years. It takes time to feel like, okay, that person really is like that. I'm okay with them. Okay, fine. But it might take years, so you have to stay.
I feel like people be around people to not feel lonely, but if it's not the right people
Then
or
you're
the
still
right
lonely.
environment, you're still lonely either way. So it's like, might as well face it head on.
I used to have like this crew that would just drag to everything, because they're ready to go and, let's go. You dress right, okay, what? And then I'm like, something is wrong and I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, this person really didn't like me, really didn't like that I was getting the whatever, wherever it was, the red carpet or going to Rose House, whatever, like you get to do that. It is really mind-boggling sometimes that somebody could be that close to you and you're just trying to figure out your own path. So being lonely with people around you is quite possible. But if you learn to love yourself, hallelujah, love yourself, then you could be by yourself and you'll attract what you love. You love you, then other people gonna love you.
I need your advice 24/7.
That's beautiful.
I need like a book of your advice. Do you have a book?
She does have a book.
I do.
You have a book?
But I don't know if that line's in there, but you should put that in there. That's actually really good.
All right, on that note, when you felt lonely in the past, what helped you?
Well, a lot of things. You can have pets because you have like 12 billion.
Yeah.
My thing back in the day, I had this thing called television. I used to watch that and
I've heard.
pretend that I was shows you're not gonna even know Laverne and Shirley, and I was Carol Burnett, and whoever it was. I that's who I was, and that's my imagination and watching through the box called television.
Not forcing yourself, but doing things to fill that void for yourself of that loneliness. You won't have to deal with that anymore.
So
and I
key.
think obviously there's times where it like comes up and like things trigger it, or like you have a bad day or whatever that is. But if you like actively work to accomplish filling that loneliness void, you don't have to deal with it. And it's kind of like goes across the board in like communication with anyone. Like if there's a situation or someone hurt your feelings or something that needs to be resolved, if you hold on to it, it's gonna linger, it's gonna create resentment, and ultimately like make or break a friendship or a relationship. But if you just face it head on, that doesn't mean you have to be aggressive or mean or anything. You're like, hey, this happened yesterday or like today, and like next time can we just do this a little bit different? Then you don't have to deal with it again.
I also love taking time for myself, doing a lot of journaling, internal reflection, and trying to, I think self-love starts from trying to be a friend for yourself. So thinking in the perspective of a friend, like what can I do today to help out my friend who is me? Because I think a lot of times we're so mean on ourselves. We're just so mean to ourselves. And I'm trying to embrace this new chapter of healing where I put a picture of my 5-year-old self and be like, anytime I want to say something mean to myself, anytime I'm not taking care of myself, I turn on my phone and I'm like, that's a girl I should be taking care of. And it brings me so much joy to think about, what can we do today that's fun? Like, what would 5-year-old Zoe enjoy?
It's like having a little sister.
Literally, it's kind of like reparenting yourself in a way.
I love that.
That's so sweet.
Very healing.
Sometimes, it's hard to just look at yourself in the mirror, but tell yourself, I love you. Not one time, but like 25 times, because the first couple of times you're going to be like, I don't even want to say this. I love you. Okay, this sounds, I love you. And then by the end, you be like, girl, I love you. But you don't always feel that way in the beginning when you have to build up to that.
You're going through something, you want to talk to someone about it, but either don't have the person or you don't trust necessarily who's in your circle yet. What you said, like journaling, like I recently started doing it. When I was 3, I got an iPad for Christmas. Like that was...
There was no such thing as an iPad when I was 3.
You were an iPad kid?
I was an iPad kid. I was loud and proud.
The micro generation right here, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So like I would write in obviously school, but I'm not used to even like writing, so that's like very unnatural for me. So I started like a little bit like smaller, instead of writing something every single day or like writing how I'm feeling, I bought like back in December, like right before New Year's, like a weekly journal. And it reflects of the year before and makes your goals for this year, and then you do weekly, and then once the month is over, you do like a month recap. And then
I like that.
it's like also like a cute memory to hold on to, because I would never prompt myself to journal, just like pick up an empty book. I'm like, what do I do with this? But kind of having little prompts that also turns into like memories.
Also, journaling down moments of gratitude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
Like
really
this moment.
brings so
That's
much.
good.
I'm so
yeah.
grateful for you guys.
I love you.
Last one is, what advice do you have for young people who are feeling lonely?
Guess we all have to answer. Oh, okay, go ahead.
I'd say take it offline because I'm actually not online as much as people think I am or assume I am because my team is online for me all the time and they're commenting and like doing stuff. So to the outside perspective, it may look like I am online, but I am not. I think that's really helped me like socially and mentally is take it offline. Like if you're ever feeling lonely, call somebody, like old school, pick up the phone and call somebody and see out of your friends who picks up. And whoever picks up for you, keep reaching out to that person for love and support and to keep hanging out and building bonds of support and friendship that are real, like in real friendships. Because, yeah, there are so many people, like when you work in entertainment, who are like acquaintance friends or like they're collaborator friends, but then who will pick up the phone when you're having a weird day or a good day? Like who's gonna pick up for you? I think that
Ro,
really
will you pick
matters
up
to
for me?
Heck yes.
Okay, I'm calling you tonight.
I'm old school. I call all the time. Oh my God, I picked up your. Remember?
You texted me late
I was
last
like,
night.
where do I park?
I was like, I'm coming. 3 minutes behind you.
You,
And I was like,
text
okay, I'm
me
waiting for you outside.
the sweetest text,
Oh.
and I'm going. Okay, I was not gonna cry because I'm the strong one. I'm the old strong one on top of it. But Ro, what did you text me?
I was thinking about you today.
Yeah, that's what she texts, and I'm like, what? You know, different generation,
sweet.
different race, same human.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I do feel more included because of you, because you invite me to things at your house, and I'm like, I'm going to Rev's house, and so many, Stu and all the collaborators are there, and that's really just, I feel like it's just saved my self-esteem.
I'd
Thank
also
you.
say invite people over. Like it might be scary at first, and maybe if you're not a host and you think like, oh, I couldn't host like a little dinner party or like something easy, just get people together offline.
Something I picked up that I also learned throughout this experience of being in a city on my own is to give the love you want to receive.
that part.
So true.
Like, it
Yeah.
brings me so much joy and makes me feel so much more connected. It opened so many doors to like meaningful relationships because everyone's scared. Everyone has walls and no one wants to be the first to be vulnerable. So if you take the first step forward and give the love you want to receive, you'd be so surprised at the reactions you receive.
Well, I don't know about you all, but I feel less lonely now, having spent
Well, we all have a group of
hug
besties.
time with you.
Oh my God. I'm like, wait. I can't touch the ground.
All right.
This is great. This is precious.
We need to do this again. I like this
Yes,
group right here.
please.
Like, this.